of a Pokemon game. Yeah, underrated is a very, very interesting subject to point out. Underrated doesn't even begin to describe this. No one ever talks about Pokemon Colosseum, and it's like... Wait, what happened to my sound? Nope, there it goes. Nobody ever talks about Pokemon Colosseum. And this game is fantastic. Okay. So I'll be fair with you all. I have not been able to do much, like... Because my day job is so exhausting. I have not really been able to do a lot of off-screen training. But before we get to advancing the story beats a bit, I want to at least get SP onto level 30. So we're going to battle a little bit more. I'll battle you. And unfortunately, I can't really tune up the sounds that much because this is GameCube, so everything was there's really no mono / stereo options. It's one or the other. Well, I don't know. My GameCube might be a little bit messed up because it only does mono. It only does mono sounds. It does nothing else. I also want to get Flaffy down a bit so I can at least use Thundershock. And to no one's surprise, one shot of poison type. Unnecessary critical on one of the weakest Pokemon in the series. Also, I want to point out something. The Street Performer Trainer class disappears after this game. I believe it's one of the trainer classes that do not reappear in the sequel. There's another unfortunate trainer class that does not reappear, but it's more sad than anything. But I'll point it out when we get there. I love the little happy dance from Pichu. That's adorable. Yeah, about that. So, Pichu was the only one who did anything that entire round. I see. Newsflash, I'm not a physical attacker. I'm surprised with how rough this area is that you don't get mugged while you're sleeping. Then again, I don't really think anyone would go out of the way to mug Wes. Yay, we have Thundershock finally. Yeah, Doduro are very frail, so that doesn't surprise me. Ooh, I get to nuke something. Quad effective. Gotta love it. And there we go. Swift, huh? That's not bad. The only non-attacking move I'll keep on SP on is Reflect, because Reflect is going to be pretty helpful for most of this game. Alright. Now we're level 30. Let's head on in. I need to get you down now. Unfortunately, I really should try to reroll on that Quagsire, because the fact that it has damp and not water absorb, damp doesn't really do much in this game. Because not a lot of Pokemon use self-destruct or explosion. Okay, so here's how the namesake of this game works. Colosseum battles are 4 in a row. 4 rounds in a row. And then you get a fabulous money prize and TM in the ending. Seems easy enough. Okay. I will also point out something very interesting. A Pokemon's nature also dictates how quickly its heart does go down, gauge does go down. And then obviously some Pokemon are going to take longer than others to begin with. Oh, and don't worry, they do heal you in between rounds. Like, they're not complete jerks about it. That's what they call an Iron Man run. if there's no healing in between. Also, the fact that Quilava comes equipped with Dig is kind of crazy, I gotta admit. They get the meta type first because those things scare me more than not to do. Neutral. I'll take that. That being said, I think tonight, I am only going to stream for 4 hours because I haven't had much sleep this week. Let me put it that way. Even still, it's like I'm sitting here sipping coffee doing this because that's just how exhausted I am. But because I want to actually keep a consistent schedule and a viewership, that's why I'm here. Also, I haven't said these praises enough, but I love the music in these games. Slam. What a terrible move. It does the same base damage, I think, as Takedown, but its accuracy is far lower. It's a horrible move. Seems to be an advocate user of Quick Attack, I see. An adept user, I should say. Man. Hey, it actually connected. So you say, 5/6 of my team are Shadow Pokemon. Now, I will come out and say it. I do not care for the final round battle theme. Alright, let's just get the Bagon off the battlefield if possible. What I don't like about it is a battle theme that you will hear later on. However, there's a lot that they leave out. It just feels like it should drop at some point, like the theme should get better, but it doesn't. It just stays here. That's one thing that really bugs me about this final battle theme. In the Colosseums, that is. Because it seems like, yes, building up to something. And then nothing. At this point in the game, Bagon is a very difficult Pokemon to deal with. Because you have really no answers to Dragon types. Man, Dragon types really were OP back in the day, weren't they? It's astonishing how bad they were. Well, how ridiculous they were. I used to give crap about us having the Fairy type now, with it being the most OP type. It was kind of a necessity because of just how overpowered the Dragon type became. Unfortunately, in the end result, the Fairy type is now the most OP type in Pokemon. Can't win them all, can ya? One HP! Yeah, baby! And Delibird against Pokemon that can't really do much. Let's switch out. Yep, thought so. Delibird are terrible Pokemon. Also, do not let this challenge deceive you, because if you actually do go back in there later, all the trainers will be like level 51 to 53. Yeah. TM6, I think that's toxic. If memory serves me correctly. Why, yes it is. Here it is. Toxic. And that's how you get banned. Being toxic. Sassy. That must be a nature that... Wax, that's just defensive boosting. You regain hypnosis. Good. Good. Docile, that's a neutral nature. That's not bad. Neutral or defensive natures, it's like, I can live with that. Because really. Hi there, you must be the superb trainer who has emerged triumphant in our latest battle challenge. Mirror B, the town's true mover and shaker, oh yeah, wishes to have you to have a gorgeous gift. Now follow me. Right, I'm back with our latest challenge champion. Let's present our lucky winner with a shadow Pokemon and watch Chaos Unleash. Oh, nice one. Our new champ is quite the appealing charmer. It makes a nice change from the parade of macho musclemen. Wait, this isn't happening! This guy, he's that West guy that Mirror B's been carrying on around. What? The same guy who messed with us in Phoenix City? I don't know. I didn't know that when I let him in here. I'll boot you back out. Go ahead and try. You brought this on yourself, buddy. So this actually becomes a bit of a trend here. Have you noticed that there have been a bunch of Johto Pokemon that have been Shadow Pokemon? Well, that trend continues. Yanma is indeed a Shadow Pokemon, but yeah. Speed Boost is its better ability, but because this is Gen 3, Yanma does not have its evolution, so therefore it's not super useful to you. Okay, this one has Compound Eyes. Not that it matters, because while Speed Boost is a broken ability, it's not really something that we can use effectively when Yanma does not have its evolution. This is why I would like them to remake. Well, I think it would be more accurate to say remaster this game and add evolutions for certain Pokemon and give the and some of them will evolve via items, and then just give those items out at certain points in the game. Like, make them items that you can just find somewhere. Or, you know, put them in Mount Battle, where you can just buy them. It's not really the hardest concept out there to do. Evolution Stones, you got me. I don't know what we could do about that. And my word, can I hit the broadside of a building today? Now it won't even matter if I try to use Hypnosis. Because that's Uproar's secondary ability, where it prevents all Pokemon from falling asleep. So, I am going to go to Plan B to capturing this thing. This is what I like to do whenever trainers have Shadow Pokemon, is whittle them down to their make the Shadow Pokemon their final Pokemon. So that way you could just concentrate on capturing it while you have nothing else to worry about. I love that sound effect though. Whoop! Not that the smoke screen really matters. I'm just wasting turns because of Compound Eyes. Compound Eyes is a good ability on certain Pokemon. Yanma's not really one of them. But Pokemon like Butterfree, it's good on because Sleep Powder, I think, goes from like 65% accurate to about 83% accurate, so your odds are much better. But my favorite by far to this day is still Galvantula. Being a Pokemon with Compound Eyes. Because what that does is, it makes it so Thunder, a 75 accurate move, now has a 93% accuracy. And I can actually appreciate that. I always have an issue catching this thing. This is one of the early Pokemon that always gives me trouble. I'm never going to use it. I'm just capturing it because, you know, there's due to Pokemon Colosseum's limited options, and there being 49 Shadow Pokemon total. And if you miss one, you don't get a chance to get them again for a very long time. It's no surprise how you managed to win the tournament. Also, the Cypher peons carry a lot of money. It's useless. I don't stand a chance of winning. Now hold on, you're the one who brought him here. Oh, you're safe. I heard you entered this building. It had me worried. Duking, this is where they were giving Shadow Pokemon to the winners of battle challenges. Shadow Pokemon? Those ferocious people that attack people? Yes, they're giving away Shadow Pokemon to thugs for some reason. It doesn't look good. They were used in the Colosseum to do that. Big lady, my papa. Papa's Pokemon was taken by Mirror B as a prisoner. He did what? Mirror B used a dirty move like that? It's Papa's Plusle. I'm so worried they might be mean to it. It's humiliating. But with Plusle in their filthy hands, my own hands are tied. He's not getting away with this, that rotten Mirror B. But we're here now. We'll get Plusle back for you, right, Wes? I knew I could count on you, Wes. Duking, it's dangerous inside this building. You got to get everyone out to safety. Thanks for everything. I have to depend on you. I have no choice. Be careful always, Mirror B. Might look like a clown, but his battling is all business. You walked in front of me. Let's battle. I love how they actually make that a thing. Yeah, we're still kind of beat up from that battle. Now, unfortunately, this battle gauntlet's going to be a little boring because there are no Shadow Pokemon in this gauntlet for a while. Not that it really matters, though. A lot of the Shadow Pokemon going forward until we get to the next halfway decent story beat are kind of bad. There's like one really outstanding one. It's depressing. It really is. And like I mentioned, that Yanma would be significantly better if they remastered this game and brought it into a more modern generation. Sure, you can't do anything about it now, but once you're clear, you have a pretty good option for a flyer, for both a flying type and an overall decent Pokemon. But, you know, that's not the game we're playing. Oh, wait a minute. I activated Guts. No wonder it did so much damage. I believe the Roller Boy is another trainer class that never reappears. It's only in this game. I mean, technically speaking, the kids still appear in the game afterwards, but they're not battleable. So they're not really a trainer class, technically speaking. Also, shiny homework? So this just explains a few things about how Shadow Pokemon work. So that's the first time we hear about Ein. Now that is a character that you'll have to keep in mind for later. I also have a very interesting theory about that character, but we'll get there when we get there. Now, I do actually plan on keeping Hariyama around for a while, but it's not going to be my fighting type Pokemon for the end game. Ah, of course. Well, at least it's getting easier to purify in the meantime. Can't complain there. Does this Vampy have no attacking moves? If not, that's actually kind of sad. Ah, there's a move. So Vampy and to an extent Donphan are actually some of my more favorite Gen 2 Pokemon, but the problem is, in the Gen 2 games, their moveset was terrible. They learn almost no ground-type moves naturally, except Earthquake at like level 50-something, so very, very late in the game. And then, they don't even learn Dig. You have to use a single-use TM to teach it Dig. I mean, Rollout's not a bad move, but that's about it. Yeah, that's one thing I will knock on when it comes to Gen 2. The learn sets for many of the Pokemon were bad. Like, not even ironically bad. They were just terrible. it got to a point where you had to essentially use single-use TMs. You didn't have a choice. Booyah, what are you, Cyborg? Booyah! So Reflect is opened up to us from Noctowl. Not bad. Not bad. And we're about to get the final move for it, which is Fly. How fitting. He wants to go wild, and all of his Pokemon know Thrash. I never actually battled this guy because I blew him out so quickly before. Now I understand. Also, I like the fact that the crony trainers, as well as the grunts of this game, are allowed to like have their own varying teams and strategies. I don't know, there's something about that that makes me smile, because really we don't get that. Whenever it comes to like crime organizations, every trainer always uses the same Pokemon. You know, not Quagsire, I just saw Quagsire and for some reason that popped into my head. But Pokemon like the Zubat line, the Rattata line. It's like, I know you guys don't have much of a budget, but really? Obviously, I'm not tagging the Corpana because the confusion would do nothing. Right. Always forget that Remoraid has that kind of crazy move pool. Because its evolution definitely does. Also, I will mention that Noctowl is a bit of an unusual flying type because instead of it being offensively based, it's more defensively based, which is definitely an interesting take on a flyer. Well, I have no choice. Always thought that animation was so cool for that move. It has no reason to be that awesome, but I digress. You know it's sad when Flaffy is the fastest thing on the battlefield? Okay. Okay, you two up front because you still have a ways to go, but the rest of the group is pretty much ready to be purified. When I first played this game, I did not understand how to do that. So I kind of gave up after a certain point in this game, but it's because I never really got past the boss of the area. Hey, finally have cross chop. And we have surf, but not really recommended. Bam! That's it. Whooper and Quagsire are a line that always make me smile, especially Whooper, because it's like, how can you be that happy and not have arms? And yet it's funny because Whooper can learn punching moves. Okay, so, one group, one pairing I'm going to go with for a bit is Espeon and Quilava. Reason being is, well, Quilava is going to take the longest to evolve out of all of them. Some of them are already fully evolved, but, and then Makuhita and Flappy will evolve in one level. Voltorb's always been a pretty neat Pokemon to me. It's one of the fastest Pokemon in the series. Of course, I say that and then my Espeon outspeeds it, but still. By the way, had my Emerald version worked, I would have caught an Electrike as my electric type. Because Manectric is actually pretty good. Unnecessary critical. I love it though. I also make a joke. Well, it's not really a joke, it's an observation. So these people have some very weird names. My theory is it's their last names. And it's like, well, you have all the free range to be as weird as you want to be at that point. Of course, you got to hit through confusion 3 times, AI, in a row, and I can't do it once. I see how it is. Twice. Okay, I call shenanigans. 3 times in a row. And you never will. Oh, the ice type. One of the worst typings defensively, yet offensively. Yeah, well, it's easily one of the tops. Especially those water ice types. Also, what makes Spheal that much more annoying is I'm pretty sure this one's going to have thick fat. So the Flame Whale is going to be effectively useless in a way, but it doesn't have enough health to survive an onslaught of both Pokemon. Whether that happened or not is irrelevant. I mean, they are decent. I will definitely give you that, but Like I said, ice types are not that good defensively. This is the other trainer class that was removed in Gale of Darkness, the female hunter. I've never actually seen that animation. Because they're always one-shot oddish. That was actually adorable. Of course, they didn't one-shot the Tentacle. Tentacle's special defenses are actually very high. Tentacle's one of those examples of, it's a common Pokemon, you wouldn't expect much out of it, but it's actually far better than it has a right to be. Same goes for the Zubat line. Zubat are so common, but Golbat and Crobat on their own are not too bad. I believe Crobat is one of the fastest poison types too. So that's one thing that definitely helps its case. In fact, I believe it became even better because of the fairy type. Because now it can actually learn poison moves because, you know, that was a weird thing too. In the game that it would debut in, it couldn't even learn Sludge Bomb. I'm not sure who thought that was a good idea. Especially since poison is the most common type in all of Pokemon, let's be completely fair. Well, maybe not. It was the most common type in Gen 1 and 2, but they kind of pulled back on that type a bit. Okay, okay, we're going to use a bit of an interesting pair here. For the battles up ahead. Because two of the, in my opinion, harder to snag Pokemon are up ahead. Darling, are you one of Duking's people? What made you think that you could simply waltz in here? Such a silly boy. Where's Mirror B? I'm taking him down. Take him down? After the beating you took? That's too funny. You wait. I'm going to drive all of you out of this town. Ooh, such a feisty boy. Don't tell me we have to take your Pokemon hostage to make you settle down like we did with Duking. What? Oh, we seem to be getting a lot of unexpected company today. But that's no excuse for being a bad host. Technically, all the guys and girls on the way up here were all Mirror B peons, if you think about it. Yeah, and here's where things get kind of difficult, because that's a Shadow Remoraid, and you see its level. Yikes. It can levitate. I'm still faster than you, even after using agility. La-di-da. Love Disc. Okay, I know that Hypnosis only has 55% accuracy, but seriously now? Love Disc. The very epitome of, let's make a mono water type that just sucks in all aspects except speed and call it a day. Finally. Yish. I'm not taking any chances. This is the first Pokemon that's very easy to miss because of its low level. You might accidentally knock it out and then you lose your chance for quite a long time. Alright. How did that happen? Unbelievable! Your team kinda sucks. My Pokemon couldn't muster a thing. You're no ordinary trainer. Were you hired by Duking as his bodyguards? Let me warn you, if you mess with us, you better be prepared for the consequences. Okay, here's another one I'm afraid of. Mantine. Mantine, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's not particularly great, but being a water flying type is good in its own right, and it's not too bad, surprisingly. You can find worse due to the limited options of Colosseum. Okay. Flappy did its job. Yikes. Well, that's insanity. Good. Yeah, I know, sending out a fire type against a water type is not exactly the smartest thing in the world, but like I said, I normally try to critical hit. Well, oh well. That wasn't my fault. Ah, well, it doesn't really matter. We'll have a chance much later in the game, much to my dismay. Funny. I love how I failed on the Remoraid. Not on the Remoraid, but the Mantine. What just happened? Unbelievable, too. Wreath, let's make ourselves scarce for the time being. Right, Firma. Ultra Super Fire Dash. More shiny homework. Ow. Thank you saved me. Do you people know duking? Yes. Okay, I'm a fool. I didn't know what was happening at all. They'd taken Duking's Pokemon hostage. How could they do something so downright dirty? That's why we're here. We came to rescue Plusle. I'm going to, not in your condition. You'll have to wait here. Whoa! We meet again, kiddies. Mirror B, you cowardly cheat. Cowardly cheat? That's so not true. Taking a hostage is perfectly fine as a bargaining tactic. You call that a tactic? Plusle had better be okay. Oh, the darling couldn't be any safer if it tried. I'm sure it will come to adore me before too much longer. You've got to be kidding. Where is it? Give it back. Whoa! No running or hiding for me. Come to the cave. That's where I'll be. I'll be waiting for you, my pretties. Whoa! So that actually opens up a unfortunately one-way shortcut to the healing machine. Hyper potions, that'll be handy. Yeah, because you can't go back this way, even though by all intents and purposes at this point you should be able to. But oh well. So this guy. Oh, I get it. You guys weren't the recruits, but just intruders too? That guy earlier was too weak for words. How about you? Are you going to keep me amused? Are you going to keep me entertained? And then somehow we're just fighting in the middle. We jumped off of that building and are now fighting in the middle of the town. Sounds like a plan to me. And Quillfish is a Shadow Pokemon. Yeah, yet another Gen 2 Pokemon that's not that good. At least this thing comes packing Surf, so at least has that. But other than that, Quillfish is kind of bad. Shame that it never got any attention until Legends Arceus. Yeesh. Talk about a time lapse. Oh, I don't like you. Also, anyone else think that Quillfish should have been able to learn Self-Destruct or Explosion because it looks like a water mine? Am I the only one? Also, I misclicked on the Thundershock, and it's a good thing I did, because I didn't think that Quillfish would be able to survive that. What's the point in knowing Cotton Spore if you also know Thunder Wave? I guess if you want to slow down a speedy ground type, but still. There's like only one of those at this point. Two. At this point, there's two of those. Doug Trio and Flygon. The rest of the ground types are slow. Alright. Now back downstairs to heal. So I have a different idea in mind now. So because of how inaccurate, and then again, I don't think it would have changed that much, but I wonder if Sleep Powder would be a little more useful. Plus, I feel like we kind of do need a grass type. So, I think you know where I'm going with this. Until we unlock a specific facility in the game, there's going to be a lot of backtrack healing. A lot of it. It's going to take a while, though. Because, one thing is, Shadow Pokemon do not purify on their own. You have to carry them with you. Yeah, it's not the best system in the world. It's cool that they mix up the formula a bit, but at the same time, I wish there was a way to just more easily do this. I mean, there is a bit later on, but it's costly. Okay. It wouldn't be a Pokemon game without a cave. Fortunately, there's no wild Pokemon, so... Plus for us, I guess. Nice. Not bad. Oops, hit my mic. Yeah, I wasn't really worried about the Anorith, because Anorith doesn't really have any good moves. It's another Pokemon that fell victim to that. Bad moveset. At least until later in the series. Well, that's what I get for talking smack about it, I guess. Oopsie. Don't worry, I already know this cave like the back of my hand. Well, that's new. But I like going out of my way on purpose because A, experience, and B, there are some good items you can find. Also, you can tell that the Pyrite Caves used to be a mine once upon a time. Okay, she's the only trader on this level. Also, I have a theory about these guys. The reason why they are so strong is because they have all of each other to train off of. Because there's so many of them. I mean, it makes sense, don't it? And your point is? Wow, I gained sleep powder really early. I guess I forgot about that. 75 accuracy. Honestly, the chances of that working are a lot higher than hypnosis. So, good thing. Good thing there. Because hypnosis is 55% accurate. I like the 20% extra odds. Sure, it could still miss, but it's less likely to miss. Alright, so we're at -2 for physical attacks, so let's go to a special attacker that can actually do something to the psychic type. Wow, you're faster than Quilava. That's actually impressive. Really? No, didn't mean to go to that menu. I still love the fanning animation. It's like, I'll get you. Well, these trainers are definitely a lot easier than the ones earlier. Of course, some of them, their typings, there's not a whole lot we could have done then. So... Too bad I don't have any grass moves yet. Well, damaging grass moves on Skip Room. Only cotton score, huh? Well, I have 5 hyper potions. Why I did not realize that till now. Alright, Makuhita, time for a little cleanup duty. Look like you just ignore that guy. Then go and get this item ball. 3 Ultra Balls. We're going to need those. Double Lotad, a preview of what is to come. Sure, use a quad resistant move. That's a great idea. Okay. Let's backtrack a bit and heal. And save before we proceed, because there's only one way forward now, and they all have, well, a good chunk of them have Shadow Pokemon. A couple of them are ones I would not mind getting. I often wonder what this building was originally used for. There's not a lot of clues. It appears to be an office originally of some sorts, but that's really it. It's probably a mining office. Back when the mine was in full swing in this town. I think that's the only way to go is forward currently. Yeah. Yeah, there's no other pathway. Okay. Metatize, eh? Well, let's get rid of the Bagon. I'll Mega Drain it. Okay. Now, Metatite is actually not too bad because it has an ability it's called Pure Power. It's essentially it's basically just huge power with a different name. Ah. So very simply what that means is that it has double the, whatever its attack stat is, double it. Also, another thing I will point out is I always love Wes's throwing stance in this game. Not bad. I've used that joke before. Welcome to here. So, we have Dunsparce and Mareep. Really? Really? And Dunsparce is indeed a Shadow Pokemon. Yeah, I sound so enthused about it, don't I? In case you can't tell by the tone of my voice, Dunsparce is bad. Unfortunately, it never got good until we got to Scarlet and Violet. What's sad is it had potential, because having Serene Grace is an ability in which it increases the chances of any secondary effects that a move may have. And its move pool is pretty good. That being said, because it can evolve now, I wonder how scary it would be with an Eviolite because it's very bulky. Also, it's deceiving because it looks like a bug type. It's a normal type. Yeah. All right. Enough of this song and dance. Let's actually get something done now. There is no way you could have predicted that. I refuse to believe that. One HP. Oh well, at least you burned. I love it when opponents do that. Also, conveniently, they stick a healing machine at a save point here. That being said, with a few extra snagged Pokemon and healed and saved, I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so mandatory battles are done, and now we have a place to heal within this area. So, we're going to go back the other way.
Roar? Well, that's surprising. Well, that saves me the trouble of having to switch out one Pokemon. Bam! Simple enough. Oh, it was just this guy, huh? Oh well. Neat. So we actually have a Lombre this time, huh? Wow, that did a lot more damage than I thought it would. Oof. Well, this might be a problem. Unless I one-shot it. That works too. Some of these guys I'm noticing are pretty free when you're fighting them. I need to switch out the skip loom from now on because it's already where I need it to be. No point. It's 2 on 1. Thought about switching out the Makahita, but it's 2 on 1. Should be able to handle this. Also, it's only a Teddy Ursa, so it's not like it's an Ursa ring. If it were, then yes, I would bring out Makahita to deal with that, because that thing can destroy you. If you let it, that is. I have a halfway decent sense of direction IRL, but keyword halfway decent. I do tend to get lost. First of these peons I've seen in a while. Well, no sense. Let's try to get this off the battlefield. Thing about Credilli, not very strong, but it is one of the most defensive Pokemon in the entire game. It's part of the reason why Credilli is one of the more scary Pokemon you have to deal with most of the time. And it ain't bad either. It's a very good utility Pokemon. Well, Cypher apparently pays well because a lot of their admins, a lot of their peons seem to have a lot of money. Because they fork over at least $1,000. Unfortunately, I will go ahead and mention this. The amulet coin, its placement in this game makes me very upset. Oh no, it's Melly. What? Too early? So the confusion was completely pointless. So you have Zigzagoon and Linoon, huh? I know someone who you would definitely get along with. So it's actually worthwhile to come this way because you find some of the IV vitamins. Unfortunately, I don't think there wasn't a calcium in that, though. Oh, well. So it's more along the lines of, well, 2 of these Pokemon I'm keeping for sure, so let's boost your speed. And then I think I'll hang on to those for a later time. Okay, so no more detours. Let's actually move on with where we need to go. I just do this for the extra experience because you can never have too much experience with the fight that's about to come up. Oh, I completely forgot that this guy had a Shadow Pokemon. Well, there we go. Swablu is a Shadow Pokemon, and one of the few Dragon-type Pokemon that you could potentially have, because Swablu, to begin with, obviously is not a Dragon-type, but its evolution Altaria is. Making it a twofold Pokemon for you because it's both a Flyer and a Dragon-type. Yes, it has a quad weakness to ice, but by having the natural cure ability, it's actually very useful. I would recommend this Pokemon to you to be used. In fact, I think I will actually be using it. How many times did I say actually? I think I was like 5 times in that one sentence. Ah, you're no fun. Sometimes I wish the Beldum were one, but here's the thing. Beldum is a very hard Pokemon to catch. Its entire line has a catch rate of 3. Yeah, that's very bad. Three out of 255, that is. Not bad. Okay, good, Quilava and Flaffy here. Well, turns out I didn't really need the sleep powder after all. Yeah, I remember this guy having Beldum, but I did not remember him having the Shadow Swablu. Also, is this supposed to be an underground lake? Because if so, they appear to be dumping sewage in it. Ew. Okay, so, how do I want to do this? Do I want to just brute force my way through this? Yeah, I think so. Well, no, I have something else in mind. That Swablu will be joining us momentarily, but I'm not really going to be using it for a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to deposit Makuhita because he's not going to be super helpful to us in this upcoming battle. And I'm going to swap out for this Noctowl. Considering what we're about to go up against. Okay, be sure I'm in the right order. Okay. It looks good there. Let's save. Alright. Well, only one place to go. Hey people! Going that way is a no-no! Can't proceed as long as he's here. Ah, Woot! It's about time, darlings. I'm so frightfully tired of waiting for you. Stop the music. Oh, you kept me waiting for so long, I decided to work up a little perspiration for But my, you have been busy being naughty and messing up our plans. It was oh so close for everything to turn out just right, just the way we hoped. But I can salvage our plan by beating you, little man, and so... It's time for one last frantic dance before the grand finale. Let the music play. I love this effect. Okay, Mirror B, as we know it. So... he starts with Double Ludicolo. Yes, get used to seeing this Pokemon when fighting this guy. So, here's the thing about these. He has a little strategy. He uses Rain Dance in combination with both Swift Swim and Rain Dish. Swift Swim, of course, doubles the Pokemon's speed in Rain. And Rain Dish restores, I think it's like an eighth of their health or something like that. Well, apparently just wanted to get that strategy off. No, I think it's like a 16th, but still. But that's how it works. See, the one with Wailing on has Rain Dish, and the other one that got to attack very quickly, that one obviously has Swift Swim. And this is why I brought in Noctowl, because it's one of the few Pokemon that can deal with these things. Also, I love the fact that his theme song is the battle music. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that Ludicolo can learn Razor Leaf naturally. So that's an interesting idea. The other one has Rain Dish, I can tell. Since it did not outspeed my Espeon, like the other one did. And the Pokemon I do recommend bringing to this fight are obviously Espeon, because it's probably one of the few Pokemon that has the highest amount of raw damage. And then the other Pokemon I recommend are Noctowl, because flying type with Fly. The Swablu that you just caught, but that's a bit more of a stretch because it has you just caught it, so purifying it's not going to be an easy matter for the beginning, at least. And that Quillfish, because it resists the grass type moves and actually has Poison Sting, which is another answer to Ludicolo. Otherwise, you just kind of wing it. Switching out Espeon so I can get rid of the Leech Seed, because that's just going to irritate me. Astonish with Swift Swim. Not a bad strategy. Well, that's annoying. Also, hot tip, do not use Quilava in this battle because, first of all, the rain, and second of all, I think a couple of his Ludicolo know Waterfall, so
Yeah, very... Too risky. Way too risky. Alright. I need to get you out of here. Also, I love the salsa dancing music with, you know, two Pokemon that look like Mexican stereotypes. Believe me, the irony is not lost on me with this character. Normal type. Yeah, I believe one has Waterfall, one has Water Gun, one has Dive, and one does not have a Water move. I know it really makes no difference being the same Pokemon, but you get what I mean. Each one does its own separate thing, which is interesting for using all of the same Pokemon. Okay, that's the third one down. So now we get into his last, Sudowoodo, which is indeed a Shadow Pokemon. Here's yet another Gen 2 Pokemon that they really never did much with it, except give it a baby form. Which is one thing that always did kind of bother me about it. It's one of those examples of, hey, let's give this Pokemon a baby form that's not that good anyway to begin with, and then do nothing else with it for the rest of the series. Sound about right? The only Pokemon I will give a pass to that had that same treatment is Jinx, because, well... Ouch, by the way. Right, I forgot this thing has Rock Slide. That can be a problem. Which is a pretty devastating move for this early in the game. Not gonna lie. I don't know why he did that. That was so weird. And this thing is holding the Heartstone, so the Rock Slide's going to do more damage. Naturally. Okay, this is not ideal. However, he is down to his last, so it's not the end of the world, at least. I'm afraid to use Surf during Rain Dance for fear I might accidentally knock it out. Now, like most Shadow Pokemon, if you do fail to get the Sudowoodo here, don't sweat it. You get another shot later. But Colosseum is less forgiving than its sequel. Let me just leave it at that. Nope. Nothing out of that. I'd rather not use the Ultra Balls if I can avoid it, because we're not going to be able to get those for a while. Oh, come on. Seriously? Well, I may have to. Bet I don't have timer balls yet. With how long this battle's been going, those would be very potent right now. I got more out of a standard Pokeball. That's depressing. Ow. I might as well use this because I'm never going to use it otherwise. It's no different than just tossing a normal Pokeball at it. It's just all white. Oh, that would have been glorious. Funny how the Pokeballs have been doing better. Whereas these have failed immediately, which is unusual for Great Balls. Ah. May as well use these. Got them for free practically anyway.
Oh, come on. They're starting to irritate me. Alright, fine. Not leaving me a choice. Jeez, seriously? I can't keep up with the tempo. Oh, no. What a no-no. How dare you? Don't you dare think you'll get away with your latest outrage. One of these days, I will take great pleasure in kicking you about with my elegant dance steps. Oh, and I'm not giving up our Shadow Pokemon plan. Let's go! Escape! And Naruto runs. Wes, did you hear those cries? It must be Plusle. I think those cries came from behind that door. I love how you upstage him. I think this is the Snatch, TM49 Snatch. Never mind. Or shiny homework. The Matra Brace. Alright. That will come in handy much later. Wes, Plusle! Wes, you're safe. Oh, and Plusle. Mirror got away, but things will be back to normal here. Duking, I don't know what to say. Forget it, Silva. We're all unharmed. That's good enough. Even that Mirror Bee's been driven out thanks to Wes. What's that, Plusle? Feeling hungry out of relief? Okay, Wes, let's quit this moldy cavern and quick. Wes, we owe you a great deal. Sincerely, thank you. If you were even a bit later, Plusle could have been made a Shadow Pokemon. That's horrible. I'm glad everything's fine, Papa, and Plusle too. What's the matter, Plusle? Oh, you want to? Okay, I understand. Wes, could you take my Plusle with you? Plusle is saying it wants to help you too. Yes, that's right. You can't let those criminals get away with it. That's amazing. We got a cute and brave addition to our party. Wes, I'm counting on you. I intend to investigate the organization behind Mirror B. As soon as I discover anything, I will be in touch. Which reminds me, Wes, I need your PDA number. Oh, that's the Pokemon Digital Assistant, or PDA for short. Wes, where's yours? You have to tell Duking your number so he can contact us. Perfect. I will be in touch as soon as we discover anything. Yeah, I guess I forgot to mention this. You can also change the tone. I always choose that just to be funny. Or that one. How much money do I have? Am I rich? Decently. Okay. Yeah. The Plusle is kinda useless.
It's an example of a Pikachu clone that is not very good. And it's also difficult because initially there was supposed to be a Shadow Minun in the game, but it was cut. Which means that Plusle really served no purpose, especially in a game dedicated to double battling. I might be imagining it, but the town's air feels somewhat less dirt. But not all is well. I can feel the presence of black auras coming from shadow Pokemon. Wow, Phaeton, nothing escapes your notice. There is but nothing that eludes the notice of my fortune telling. The key to freeing Pokemon from that black aura, it is in the north. North, that's where my grandpa lives too. Oh no, I forgot. I was on my way to visit Grandpa. He lives in a Gift village. That's north of here. That being north may be no mere coincidence. Your answer may be there. Oh, my grandpa was a famous trainer when he was young. Maybe my grandpa would know something. Let's go see him, Wes. And thus begins an interesting theory about that character, but we'll explain it when we get there. Oh, here we are. This is where my grandpa and grandma live. The air tastes a lot different here. It's been so long. Okay, let's get going. I bet they're worried about me not getting here. Yes, this is the retirement village, more or less, in Ouray. Which works, because it's lush and beautiful. However, there's something... We need more Pokeballs. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have, like, a good chunk of those. And what's the news report this time? Anything interesting? Easier said than done, though, because Cypher has such a strong, tight grip on, like, the entire region. Again, talk to everyone, see if he can get something interesting. Also, fun Easter egg. Later on in the sequel, that Torchic is a Combuskin. Continuity! Huh. I got a refund on one of those Ultra Balls. Well, that's convenient. Interesting here.
Well, you sell those. Okay, the scents, we'll explain those later. Buy a few more of these, it would not hurt anything. Now there's a little secret passage here. If you go back behind this house. And there's an eyeball here. Oh. I completely forgot that you get that. At this point in the game. Well, that'll come in handy later. There's a little thing up here. Talk to this guy every time you reload the map, and you'll just get a free berry from him. Purse him. That ain't bad. Here is the daycare center in this game. Now, it's a little different. So, you gain 1 experience for each step, as usual. But what about shadow Pokemon? Well, for each step taken, its heart gauge ticks down. Yes, they actually thought of this. It's still not the most helpful thing out there, but it does what you need it to do. Okay, of course, swap out Flaffy for the Swablu. Try to get its heart gauge down a bit. Interesting. Okay, and then just go around this little bend here and you'll find another item box. I don't remember what's in this one. Quick Claw. Hey, that's not bad. I know exactly who to give that to. Go. Too bad getting the Hoenn starters in this game is no easy matter. fat. Grandpa Egan, Grandma Bella, I missed you. Hi, Riri. Welcome, welcome. We heard you were coming, but then you didn't arrive. We were worried about you, dear. You finally arrived. What held you up? I had this terrible time. On the way here, I was abducted by these creepy people. Luckily, I was saved by Wes, who happened to be there by coincidence. Oh, how frightful. Thank you so much for saving our granddaughter. But why would anyone want to harm Ruri? It's probably because I can see these bizarre Pokemon. They're shadow Pokemon. Pokemon that have been turned into fighting machines with hearts of darkness. Shadow Pokemon? What on earth is that? Well... Help! There's trouble! Egan, it's a serious situation. Some outsiders went into the Relic Forest. What? Who were they? I don't know. They shoved me aside and... That's enough talk. It can wait. I'm off. He actually makes a funny comment, this guy. Let me tell you, I've never seen Egan run quite as fast as he just did. I would say that he could even outrun me. I missed the chance to battle him, but you can battle him a bit later. Once things calm down. Okay. Here we go. Strange people attacking the area. That can only mean one thing. This has to be the work of Red Herring. A Carvana or Surf? Well, I would be more frightened if it were anything else. But Carvana's special attack is bad. Now that, on the other hand, yeah. That might be a little more worrisome. Okay, now that actually hurt.
Oh, jeez! I had to make the joke.
Oh, that's annoying.
I don't feel so good.
You know, that has to take some strength to hide up there like that. Well, not just hide up there, but to climb up there. Opponents are also getting a lot tougher. Whereas Mirror Beat capped out at 35. This is what she's starting with. Granted, her Pokemon are not that strong, but still. Stat boosting moves are always terrifying. Plus, I'm kind of scarred from it because of people using stored power as a strategy.
You know, I never really did catch on to the joke that Curlia is actually a ballerina. Until this game. When we saw its 3D animations for the first time. Well... I love how she called him a little boy because, canonically, I believe Wes is one of the oldest protagonists in this series. He's at least, it's ambiguous, but I would say, considering he can drive a motorcycle and is a part of is formerly a member of a criminal organization, I'd say he's at least 18. At least. You! Who are you? What are you doing here? Although you may ask why we are here, we simply cannot answer that. I can see that you are a senior citizen, but I cannot allow you to interfere with our affairs. You're the ones interfering. Shady creeps like you I'll personally run out. Now, someone so old shouldn't overdo it. Don't take me for a fool. I'll have you know I was once hailed the most powerful trainer. That isn't all either. I have a comrade with whom I've been through thick and thin. This is the first Pokemon I got, and it's been with me ever since. Okay, Pikachu, we haven't battled this much in a while. Let's keep focused. The theory is that this guy is supposed to be an older Ash Ketchum. First Pokemon being a Pikachu. I wouldn't say red. Although he could be. We don't know. Ah, Pikachu, the very definition of a glass cannon. Bad defenses, bad HP, good speed, good special attack. And physical attack if it has a light ball. Didn't I already say, an old man shouldn't overdo it. Grandpa, Pikachu, Pika. How dare you? You'll never get away with this. Ah, now here's someone who may show me a more enjoyable time. Very well, on guard. Also, because I was always of the theory that because this guy has a different colored uniform from the other peons, he's a higher rank. Like, he's not an admin, but he's higher rank than the rest of the peons. I mean, we already knew this, but you didn't need to tell us again. I better get this up because that him on top can do a number on us. Has flashbacks to losing the first encounter with Makuhita. And critical hits ignore reflex, so this is going to be trouble. Also, Waterfall's such an awesome move in this game. I don't know. Why not? I know that was bad. You can't be doing this now. Ah, well. At least it wasn't a crit this time. Bit of an uphill battle dealing on the why not. Just gotta be careful. Also question, how's it sleeping when it's upside down? How does that work? Alright. I better not take any chances. Well, nah. We got plenty of these to spare as it is. Let's do a little more chip damage. Since it's asleep, its chances of capturing are higher, but it's not guaranteed, of course. That's how Pokemon works anyway. Geez, first try. Alright. I gotta be careful with this why not. Of course, if it's asleep, then it won't matter. Should have used Safeguard there, pal. This is called playing around the why not.
Maybe, but I'm not taking chances with why not. The game can't be that. It shouldn't be that mean. Let's put it that way. I have been instructed to capture Celebi, then destroy the Relic Stone, but matters have not gone according to plan. I shall have to immediately inform the king, who has gone to Mount Battle. Grandpa, are you okay? I'm fine, but my partner... Ah, you're safe. Good. You battled with honor. If your opponent was any ordinary Pokemon, you would have won. So that was a Shadow Pokemon. Rui and Wes, am I right? Thank you for helping us. We should go home for the time being. You really had... You really have me worried. Please don't do anything so rash and dangerous again. I'm sorry, dear, but I couldn't very well let them have their way. Those crooks, they said they were out to capture Celebi and destroy the Relic Stone. Why? Might there be a connection between Celebi and Shadow Pokemon? Oh no, that's no good. We came here because we thought you would know something, Grandpa. Sorry to disappoint you. Oh yes, dear, didn't we have a stone tablet? It had something about the relic carved into it. Ah, yes, we did have such a stone tablet. Now where could I put it away? Let me go look for it upstairs. It may take some time, so be patient. I can relate. I put things in places where I would not lose them, and I lose them. Go see an old man named Seniler. He lives near the Pokemon down the hill. Seniler is the authority when it comes to Celebi. That is, if he remembers. Oh yes, the Colosseum bonus disc, where you get your free Jirachi. Boy, what a convoluted mess that was. Oh well, at least getting Jirachi was better than how Japan did it. Ah, you're Egan's beloved torture. Oh wait, who did you say you were? What's that? You wanted to ask me, Seniler, about Celebi? Have no fear, no problem. Forget something that important, that's not going to happen. Let me start with a relic in Relic Forest. According to ancient lore, the relic is said to hold the power of time travel for Celebi. That mystical power is said to revive the most pleasant, most enjoyable memories of Pokemon. If only it worked on me and brought back memories of my youth. Would you like to hear more? To meet Celebi directly, you must use an item called the Time Flute. That is all one needs to bring Celebi to the Relic Forest. Celebi will surely cause darkness to flee from the hearts of any Pokemon. Ah, Riri, welcome home. I finally found the small tablet. That is the small tablet that has been passed down through our family over many generations. Examine it.
And against mystic relic Celebi's power shelters. A heart imprisoned by shadows, its last door shall be opened by the power within. The relic must have some effect on shadow Pokemon. I will leave that for you to determine for yourselves. Back up, back up. Wes, we got big trouble. I just got word from our people that Mount Battle's under attack by a mysterious group of thugs. Please, can you go help? We think it's the same group as the one Mirror B belonged to. We're counting on you. What? Those crooks are loose on Mount Battle now? That's awful. We can't let this go on. Wes, let's go. Oh, wait. Grandpa, where is Mount Battle anyway? Mount Battle is to the northeast. You could see it in the distance once you leave the village. Hurry, Ruri. Back up, back up. More shiny homework. So here's how purification works. Once you get all the bands all the way down to 0, you come here, and then the Pokemon is completely purified. It regains the move that Shadow Rush overwrote, and it gains all the experience at once that it's accrued. I have an idea for this Kolava. Caldera. It's a name for the crater of a volcano. Since Typhlosion is known as the volcano Pokemon, there we go. Smelling Salt's an interesting move, but I'm not going to teach it. And my calculations are correct. Yep, it should be able to evolve right now. Hariyama's female, so the name won't exactly work. Oh well.
Let's see. Well, I can't think of anything, actually. Now, I believe Skiploom does not evolve until level 37, but not that it exactly matters right now. Or I could be wrong. It might be 27, actually. Oh yeah, I want to point out something. So Jumpluff, if you're paying attention to its shadows, that's something that they did not touch up on. Because its shadows are squares. And it's made out of circles. Okay, so... what have we got here? Rash nature, that means it's a plus speed nature, which does help. Jumpluff kind of sucks though, so we're only using it temporarily. Hariyama is pretty helpful. The bulk and the physical attack that thing has. Let's see. You're not too far away from getting to level 35, and then it evolves at 36, so that's nice. Also, we are significantly spoiled because being able to just access your PC remotely, that was such a great idea. I don't know why they never did that, implemented that earlier. Alright, so I believe you're ready to be purified as well. So the Jumpluff served one purpose, and that was to get off Sleep Powder. Unfortunately, the Pokemon that we're about to deal with, that is a Shadow Pokemon, it would not be a good idea to use it. Ah, hint, hint. Now, folks, here is why this region is a desert. Mostly a desert. That is an active volcano in a mountain range. What that does is, well, science time. It creates a rain shadow effect, in which rain will occur on the opposite side of the mountain that you see. Opposite from what you see. And it keeps the area below it arid. meaning that moisture cannot stay in the area, so as a result, it becomes a desert. Okay, so we're going to have Swablu and Caldera out front. Swablu because I need to get its heart gauge down, and then Caldera because it needs to get to level 36. So we'll get as far as we can here. I don't know if we'll make it to the boss. But if we do, I think that's where we'll end things off. After defeating him. Man, what a bad call for Caldera. Never mind, Harry Armor's male, so the name would have worked. Oh well. That would have been hilarious if you used magnitude after your trap hinge dug underground, because it would have done more damage.
Ow. You gotta say again. Ow.
Heh. Turbo is fair play.
Hey, Quick Claw.
No, I don't want the PDA. I think what I'll do is because these Pokemon seem to be mostly ground-based, I'll give the experience share to Caldera, and then just have Quagsire and Swablu out front. Ah, my voice. What happened? Ah. Yep, I think that was a good call. Quick Claw. Love it when it activates. I'd rather that happen more often. That's fine. Hooray! Thank you for breaking through the flinch. Yep, lots of ground, fire, and rock types. So, Quagsire was an amazing call for this. Jeez. Did that person just tune in to make a bunch of why not puns, by the way? Because I'm just realizing this now. That's how out of it I am today. Also get used to this place, because we will be using this facility quite a lot. I will not be showing it a lot on screen though, because this is the location you use to grind. Because some of the battles in this game get very brutal. Ryder Raiden. That's creative. Oh, that's correct. Yeah. Jeez, I knew Houndour's defenses weren't that good, but my word. That's bad. Very fitting for a hunter. Yes, I want to attack my own partner. That makes perfect sense. Yes, absolutely. There's that quick claw kicking in again. That's okay. One weakness coming up. Oh, I missed.
Why do you have a second one, and why is it not a Vibrava? Whack.
I remember the days when Sandstorm was somewhat useless. Also, I had no idea that that thing could learn Spark. That's crazy.
Aw, yeah. One shot with Hariyama.
All right. And that's what we were after with this one. Okay, so We are going to go back, heal, and save, and I think that's where we're going to end things off, because we made it about halfway through this entire section. And I know we're under-leveled, but we'll be able to fix that much, much later. But right now, we really can't. Alright, so we managed to free Pyrite Town from Cypher's control, dealt with them in a good village, and purified the Pokemon for the first time. And we made about halfway through the crisis here at Mount Battle. I'd say that's a pretty good amount accomplished within 4 hours. So, that being said, next time we will finish, next week we will finish the second half of this challenge, and then we will see where we go from there. We'll probably have to grind though, because I would feel more comfortable if my Pokemon were at least level 40 before we get too far into the plot. So, and this facility here, Mount Battle, is how you do that. But first we have to unlock it, so we gotta clear things out here, and I think we gotta do a few more things before it opens up to us. So, that being said, I'll see you all next week. Same time, same place. Reno Kage 33 signing off.